Welcome to Living in the Magic. I'm your host, Rebecca. This is a space for soul-led healing, awakening, conscious living, and remembering who you came here to be so you can move through life with intention, intuition, and the quiet power of your inner magic. This podcast episode is dedicated to anyone who's finding themselves in a hard time today, anyone who feels like they are in the middle of soul searching, at the beginning of soul searching, being forced into soul searching, being called into soul searching, being guided into soul searching, anyone who has ever had a challenge that's pushed them into uncomfortability, to growth, ultimately to success, whether that's emotional, physical, or spiritual. This episode is for all of us who have gone through struggle and have used it as an opportunity to grow, or have gone through struggle and not known what to do. I think everyone in life needs to go through a point in their life where they get torn down to be rebuilt. I think it's one of the hardest things that we have to do, or that we have to be put through, but it is truly one of the only ways, probably the best way, probably the most authentic way, the truest way, the strongest way, when we're put in a situation or through a challenge that allows us to actually build ourselves back up again, brick by brick, to build ourselves back up again from the ground up. It's not just therapeutic, it's important. When in your life did you have a time when you felt that everything was collapsing, complete uncertainty, confusion? You really didn't understand why you had to go through the challenge you went through. It felt very dark and lonely, scary. You had no idea how you were going to pull yourself out of this, how things could ever change. Those moments, and we can go through them in our lives more than once. Sometimes they're on a bigger scale, sometimes they're on a smaller scale. But those moments are so important. Those moments are what shape us. Those moments are so important because they're an important part of really learning to understand who we are in our essence and what we are made of. We are being given the opportunity to build our lives back up piece by piece, brick by brick, the way that we want to see it built. When our lives are completely stripped down and we don't understand where we are or where we're going, where we're headed, what's going to happen, it's only when we strip our life, when our life is stripped down to the bare bones, that we can actually build it, and we get to choose how we build it up. We get to choose what bricks and what pieces we create our life with. Those moments are what create the seed level where we plant the seed. And over time, we'll see that seed grow. It will take time. But in those moments, we get to choose how we're going to rebuild our life. We get to choose how that seed is going to grow, how the plant is going to turn out. I don't know that everyone is blessed with that opportunity. I hope so. But I think that if you are, and if you see it as this instead of a disaster, that's what's really, really important. Many people go through their lives and they never get the chance to really see what they're made of. They don't give themselves the chance to, because instead of noticing those challenges as opportunities for growth, as opportunities to build themselves back up, to choose how they're going to build themselves back up, which is what creates them, which is so life transformative, they choose instead to go through as victims. The why me, the sadness, the depression, the anger, the frustration, it takes over instead. And I'm not saying that those aren't normal, natural parts of it. They are, and it's okay to feel that way. And in retrospect, if that's how you felt, that's okay too. But if you pushed forward, you pulled yourself out of it, you can look back and see how you chose to build yourself. You can see what you were made out of and how you pulled through and where you are today. Many people go through life without ever really getting the chance to see what they're made of. They never get the chance to deconstruct their life and to put it back together. Because when we do that, we get to put our lives back together based on our own values, on what's important to us. Because, if not, they go through life with confusion, with lack of clarity and trust, lack of trust in themselves. They go through life based on what they've been taught to believe, what's expected of them, but they never really get the chance to see what it is that they believe, what their values are, what they expect of themselves. And that's what hard moments and challenges give us. They give us the opportunity to analyze for ourselves what it is that we really want. What's important to me as a human, as a soul, as an individual? I went through that when I was about 21 to 22 years old. And it was the hardest point in my life thus far. I would say literally my entire life as I knew it fell apart. And I honestly felt very sorry for myself. I was a huge victim. But I also knew I spent a lot of time in that space. And I also spent a lot of time in the space of knowing that this is what was best for me, in trusting God, in trusting my path, in trusting my journey. And I got to see how strong I was. I got to claw myself out. I fought to build my life in the way that I wanted to build it. That was my opportunity to not continue on the path that was expected of me, but instead to create the path that I wanted to create for myself. I got to see what I was made of. I found loneliness and I found solitude, and it allowed me to get really quiet with myself, to really learn to go inwards, to really get to know myself. And I think I was just thinking about this morning how 15 years later, I'm seeing really how that was the seed level of my life and the life that I've built until today. When we go through a hard time, we want to ask for it to be with mercy, right? It doesn't have to be the most traumatic experience. It doesn't have to be losing someone, or God forbid something happened physically that is life-altering in a way where we can't go back. But we all go through challenging times that are emotional, that are uncertain. Could be disconnecting from someone that we know isn't good for us, finding ourselves in financial ruin or instability, being pushed out of a relationship, being, rejected from somewhere where we've been working towards our entire life, or just finding ourselves really unhappy and down. But when we find ourselves in that place, whatever that lowest point feels like, just know that it can be the most important space that you can ever find with yourself, because it's from this lowest point that we can create growth, change, where we can really seriously learn to trust ourselves. If you've been through a point in your life like that and you look back and you notice everything that it created for you, the foundation that it laid for you and what you built, feel proud of yourself and look back at that hard time and feel gratitude. And if you're going through it right now, this is the time to pull yourself out, to not allow yourself to fall into victim, to know that this is helping you. This is the seed level of your next level. This is the time to take the time to write down how you want to reroute your life, right? What it is that you want to grow and build from this point. How do you want to see yourself 5 or 10 years from now? What do you want to create? And if you don't think you've ever gone through a point like this yet, that's okay too. Because maybe God wants you to rebuild and reroute yourself from the place you're in today. Maybe you don't need to hit a really low breaking point. Maybe where you are right now is the place where you can plant seeds from. But just know, if you have gone through a hard time, or if you're going through one right now, this is a gift. It's a gift to shape yourself and allow yourself to choose how you're going to shape your life. What is important to you? How do you want to see your life in 5 or 10 years from now? Just know that what you have gone through, hard times, is given you a gift to shape yourself, to decide how you're going to shape yourself in your life, who you are in your core, who you're going to choose to be. It was a blessing. It is a blessing, probably one of the biggest you've ever got. And if you see it like that and you have gratitude for it, that's beautiful. And if you don't, take time now to sit with yourself and notice where you feel like you didn't do enough. Where could you have seen it differently? And it is the time today and every day you get to choose how you are going to rewrite your path. Your life today is a culmination of what it was 5 or 10 or 15 years ago. And 5 or 10 or 15 years from now is going to be a culmination of the choices that you make today. Who you are today is so powerful because you have the choice in every moment to choose who you're sculpting yourself into, who you're building and what you're building and how you're building it. And you will feel it later on. I bless you, and bless yourself with a beautiful today and tomorrow. And remember, those low points are the foundation of our future. Treat them as such. Have a great day. Thank you for joining me here on Living in the Magic. May you carry what you've received into your day, into your heart, and into your life, walking forward with more clarity, connection, and trust in the magic that is within you.